Hello, good morning. You welcome to HitzAfrik Radio right here in Ghana, and this is the news with me, Jenny Kumsena. Let's go straight to our headlines. In Ashanti region, vegetable farmers call for plan to produce quality seeds locally. And still same in the Ashanti region, Kumasi residents kick against ECG's proposal for tariff increment. And the Ghana Statistical Service begins training for 2021 population and housing census national trainers. And moving on to Okay, so on African news, Ethiopian marks 75 years and tough years for airlines. And also, moving on to international news, Alibaba accepts records, China fine and vows to change. Now, straight to uh, first news bulletin. Now, some residents and business owners within the greater Kumasi metropolitan Accra of area of the Ashanti region have kicked against the proposed increments in electricity tariffs in the midst of erratic power supply being experienced in some parts of the country. At a public forum on Thursday, April 8, 2021, the managing director of the electricity company of Ghana, ECG, Kwame Ajima Bedu, suggested that the company needs more funds to support its operations and be more effective. He therefore proposed an increment in electricity tariffs. The proposal is, however, not sitting well with many, with some residents and business operators in Kumasi totally rejecting it. They said they don't agree to this tariff increment. They should focus on fixing the lights before talking about increasing the tariffs. Otherwise, we won't accept it, a fashion designer, Sadia Adams, stated. We hardly get light for our businesses. If there's any intention of increasing the tariff in this current state, it will badly affect us. This is because we are already facing challenges with our businesses and there's no money in the system. Another resident, Moro Ahmed, indicated. Now, they does want the electricity company of Ghana and other relevant stakeholders to take steps to address the current challenges with power distribution before any such proposal for any increments is put on the table. One said at times we come to work without light. We sit here doing nothing. So they shouldn't talk about any tariff increment. They should fix the lights, otherwise we won't accept that, a business owner stated. Meanwhile, some business operators and residents have iterated calls on authorities to make available a load shedding timetable for the region. One said, "You can wait for hours hoping the light will come back, but it doesn't. Due to the long hours it goes off. Authorities are not giving us any information about it, and that is really affecting our businesses. So we want them to explain things to us or provide a load shedding timetable for us so that we can make adequate plans for it." Another fashion designer, Kwabena Santi, told the news they are supposed to know and let us know if they will put the lights off so that we know how to go about other things. Now, moving on to another story, there will be a systematic power outages in May, says the energy minister. Ghanaians would have to brace up themselves for more power outages in May 2021. Now, according to the Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Poco Prempe, there would be an erratic power supply in May due to the ongoing upgrade of the Kaswa and Pokwasi substations. Speaking at the forum in Accra on Thursday, April 8, 2021, the minister said his outfit is currently engaging the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GRIDCO, and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, to strategize ahead of the expected outages. Just 2 days ago, the minister received a letter from MIDA, Millennium Development Authority, who are helping upgrade the Pokwasi and Kaswa substations. They informed him of the progress of the substation in the month of May, that there will be systematic power outages. So they both invited ECG and Gridco, and in the light of that, sat and planned and communicated with the other people who will be affected way before it happens. Dr. Matthew Opoko Prempe also indicated the government is finalizing the revision of the national energy policy. A revised energy policy is going through its final processes of the consultation. At the appropriate time of approval, it would be made available to everyone. Dr. Prempe said now Ghanaians have in the past few months been experiencing intermittent power outages, sparking fears that the country may be returning to the days of unstable power supply, popularly known as doomsday. Now let's go straight to the Ashanti region. Some vegetable farmers within the Asokwa municipality of the Ashanti region have renewed calls for stakeholders in Ghana's agricultural sector to develop a sustainable plan to produce quality seeds locally to avoid the over-reliance on importation of seeds. Researchers at the Department of Horticulture and at the Faculty of Agriculture at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have described the importation of seeds as worrying and urged government and even students to take advantage of entrepreneurial opportunities in seed production to permanently reverse the trend. AJ Douglas is a vegetable farmer at Janasi in the Sokwa municipality of the Ashanti region and has been in this business for over 15 years. For AJ and his colleague farmers, their major challenge is access to seeds. They always have to import these seeds from other countries, which at times become scarce. This is he said that affects their activities badly. Now he told the media that the imported seeds do not normally thrive well in Ghana due to the difference in weather conditions, and as a result, neighboring countries such as Burkina Faso, Togo, among others who produce their own seeds, come out with more attractive ones. This affects the competitive advantage and preference for imported products as compared to ones produced in Ghana, and so they are urging governments and all stakeholders to come to their aid of producing seeds in Ghana to reverse the worrying trend, he said. Now, the faculty is therefore urging students and faculty members to explore entrepreneurial advantages of producing seeds in Ghana to solve the challenges. Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Director of Agriculture, Reverend George Menu, outlines some measures government is putting in place to help tackle the issue. Now, the Ghana Statistical Service begins training for population, housing, and census national trainers. On the final phase of training of national trainers for 2021 population and housing census commenced on Thursday, 8th April 2021. The residential training workshop will end on Friday, 16th April 2021. It is to equip prospective trainers with a requisite knowledge, skills, and competency to train regional trainers who, in turn, will train enumerators and supervisors. The training, which will be conducted in 8 regions, will bring together prospective national trainers from all regions of the country. The training workshop is a culmination of a month-long engagement with prospective national trainers who have participated in a 3-month virtual self-learning and a 15-day live virtual training. After competitive screening processes, 1,373 trainers were selected from 1,744 participants for the virtual training workshop. In pursuance of our targeted goal, the national trainers for the 2021 would be selected based on performance on assessment participation in class discussion, attitude and conduct, attendance, punctuality, and result of field practice. Three categories of trainers, master trainers, national trainers, and regional trainers have been identified and would be utilized for the training exercise. The national trainers are crucial to the success of the 2021 training strategy, which aimed for quality standardized training at all levels and in the selected training sectors. The national trainers will train the regional trainers, who are also responsible for training the approximately 75,000 field officers ahead of the data collection for the census. The census ninth date for the 2021 has been set for 27th June 2021. Now, service has also done a breakdown of the number of prospective applicants left the regions as follows: 83 prospective trainers from the Western region will be trained in Takrady. Now, 114 prospective trainers from the Central region will be trained in Winneba. 180 prospective trainers from the Greater Accra region will be trained in Accra. 247 prospective trainers from the Eastern, Oti, and Volta regions will be trained in Ho. 270 prospective trainers from the Ashanti region will be trained in Kumasi. 188 prospective trainers from the Ahafo, Bono, Bono East, and Western North regions will be trained in Sunyani, and 151 prospective trainers from the Upper East, Upper West, and Savannah regions will be trained in Wa. 142 prospective trainers from the Northern and Northern East region will be trained in Tamale. The conduct of the census is in accordance with Clause 3 of the Statistical Service Act 2019 Act 1003. You count, get counted. Moving on to a different story, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is taking pragmatic steps to strengthen the capital market and to protect investors' fund. Deputy Director General Paul Ababio has said, speaking during Tesla Capital webinar on the theme Investing After the Financial Sector Cleanup. Mr. Ababio said key among the measures was the issuance of new guidelines for market operators to take care of potential areas which could disturb the capital market. Mr. Ababio said the Commission learned from the cleanup that there were corporate governance weakness and have therefore introduced conduct of business guidelines in which market operators were required to issue annual reports to allow investors to know their standing. All these moves, he said, were to increase the level of transparency, as the Commission found out during investigation that there were related party transactions that were not done transparently. They also saw lack of professionalism and some misconduct. This new licensing framework seeks to address that. We are enhancing the training program we offer to market operators as well as implement a continuous professional development through Ghana Investment and Security Institute. He said the revocation of licenses created space for the regulator to focus on remaining firms and to allocate resources efficiently in supervising the firm remaining and fulfill its mandate of investor confidence and protecting the investor. The Commission has also digitized the submission of reports to allow for real-time inspections by the regulator and to address concentration of issue. There is an issue of inadequate disclosure to the client who is the asset owners. We have asked that fund managers improve the mandates that they assign with clients and that we also inform the public to ask for statements gets a say. Now, investments are good, and we, the public, must have a safe and sound mind that these institutions that want us to save are protecting our investments, he said. Now, Mrs. Eugenia, Managing Director, Tesla Capital, said corporate governance was core to the company's dealing successes and future, and that the company was looking towards a partnership to create and build a growing generational wealth. She said although the financial sector cleanup exercise might have achieved its objective, it had also engendered fear of investing among the people. However, she said there consequences of failing to invest in the future. Investing is the only proven way in which you can sit back and watch your money grow for you. Investing has therefore not lost its benefit, she said, and encouraged people to invest. Now back to Ghana's Statistical Service. Head of Census Methodology at the Ghana Statistical Service, Mr. Owusu Keja, has disclosed that the 2021 census would be heavily dependent on the use of computer-assisted personnel interviews and a global positioning system (GPS) coordination for all structures and communities. Mr. Gaja was speaking at the OT version of training for census officers, head of department, and other opinion leaders ahead of the upcoming population and housing census 2021 to achieve the national set goals. He noted that the census data would be a credible and indispensable source of statistics in the implementation of decentralized policies and programs. He expressed the hope that depth of knowledge and experience of the members would complement the skills and competency needed for the successful conduct of the census. He appealed to the local council of churches and chief imams to engage with their congregation to avail themselves for the upcoming census slated for June 27th this year. Mr. Keja said data gathering was key in the management of cities, hence the need for all citizens to participate in the exercise to improve decision making. He said the recruitment process did not require the payment of money and asked applicants not to pay any money to any person for recruitment. He said any person who took money on account of securing an appointment for anyone with the Ghana Statistical Service would be doing so at its own risk. Mr. Joshua Makobo, on the OT regional minister, expressed the regional coordinating council's readiness to offer them the needed support, considering the importance of the population size and census of the country to its development. He appealed to the numerators and supervisors to be open-minded and work as a theme towards the success of the exercise. Now let's go straight to our African news. Now, Ethiopia marks 75 years amid tough year for airlines. The Ethiopian Airlines on Thursday marked 75 years since it began commencing flights, with CEO Towade Mariam warning of a serious challenge posed by COVID-19. On April 8, 1946, the company operated its first ever commercial flight. It flew from Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital, to Cairo, Egypt. The carrier's initial fleet consisted of 5 C-47s acquired from the US government. It has since grown to 127 aircraft. As the coronavirus pandemic continues to affect international travel, Toward said, though time still lay ahead for aviation, the route we chose to overcome this challenge is to tighten our belt, change the way we do business, and be agile, he said in a statement. A special event was held to mark the anniversary on a flight to Cairo. Ethiopia is Africa's biggest airline by revenue and profits, according to the International Air Transport Association. The pandemic has hit African airlines especially hard. According to International Civil Aviation Association, African airlines were at risk of losing $6 million in revenue and 3 million jobs in 2020 compared to 2019. Namibia folded its airline in February, while the flag carriers of South Africa and Kenya have indicated they will need millions of dollars in cash assistance to fully restart operations. To mitigate the damage, Ethiopia quickly jumped on the opportunity to move tons of medical supplies meant for coronavirus response in Africa. On top of it, its 12 dedicated cargo aircraft, the company reconfigured 25 passengers planes to turn them into fighters to respond to increased cargo demand. Remain the only commercial airline that hasn't sought government bailout and didn't lay off a single employee, Todd said. Last December, the company announced the launch of a cold chain air freight to transport temperature sensitive medicines. It has been contracted to deliver shipments of coronavirus vaccines to various countries in Africa. Now, tobacco farmers in Hawaii mark the start of tobacco sales season in a market held despite strict health restrictions. Tobacco production in Zimbabwe is expected to grow by nearly 9% this year, the Tobacco Regulatory Authority said on Wednesday. Our tobacco harvest was very much good this season, and we expect good profit this year, and I can see good prices as well. The highest I saw was 4.30 US dollar, and the lowest was 2 US dollar because it was a bit wet, tobacco farmer Steady said. Now in 2021, production is expected to reach 200 million kilogram thanks to abundant rainfall, the country's tobacco industry and marketing board estimated. Last year, production was at 184 million. So far, I have got 2 hectares. I have grown this year 2 hectares. We are happy. We are happy for this season was good. The rains were there. We are very much happy. So we are expecting better prices. Tobacco pharmacy farmer said. As one of the biggest employers in the country, the tobacco industry is hard hit by unemployment despite its agricultural and mining resources. Patrick Devenish is chairman of Tobacco Industry and Marketing Board. The crop last year was 135 million kilos. The estimated are still being calculated, but I think it will be bigger than that. And because of the improved quality, I think the prices are going to be a little bit higher. Devenish said tobacco is a major source of foreign exchange for the Southern African nation, with sales reaching $782 million in 2020. Now let's do our very last story, that is international. Chinese tech giant Alibaba said on Monday that it accepted a record penalty imposed by the country's anti-monopoly regulator. Regulators slapped $2.8 million fine after a probe determined that it had abused its market position for years. The fine amounts to about 4% of the company's 2019 domestic revenue. Alibaba Group's executive vice chairman, Joe Tai, indicated that regulators have taken an interest in platforms like Alibaba as they grow in importance. We are happy to get the matter behind us, but the tendency is that regulators would be keen to look at some of the areas where you might have unfair competition, he told an investor call on Monday. The company added that it was not aware of any further anti-monopoly investigations by the Chinese regulators, though it signaled that Alibaba and its competitors would remain under review in China over mergers and acquisitions. Now that's all for the news here on HitzAfrik Radio. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel HitzAfrik Radio, on Facebook HitzAfrik Radio. And now let's do a recap of our news headlines. In Ghana, when we took a look at Ashanti region, vegetable farmers call for plan to produce quality seeds locally, and Kumasi residents kick against ECG's proposal for tariff increment. The Ghana Statistical Service begins training for 2021 population and housing census national trainers. And on African front, Ethiopian marks 75 years and tough year for airlines. On our international, Alibaba accepts record China fine and vows to change. That's all for the news I have for you here on HitzAfrik Radio. I am Jenny Kumsin.